Hood fam? It's Mr. Kelly with Good to the Hood, talking about anything and everything that impacts the culture. And today, once again, I'm with my boy Avery J.
What?
And I actually don't have a topic. So I told my man's Abe's here, what do you want to talk about? So
Hey man,
what's popping?
I want to talk about artists that, you know what I'm saying, are canceled, or artists that are trying to come back to the cookout, you know what I'm saying?
Artists that are trying to come back to the cookout. Because we've done a couple on cancel culture. And but this is a little bit different. Okay. So who's trying to come back to the cookout?
Well, I think, when we talk about the cookout, right? You think about it's the idea that somebody's kind of abandoned their culture, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, once they left, they try to get back, you know what I mean? One of the huge topics I'm thinking about is like when Stacey Dash.
I was going to say, I know Stacey Dash is not trying to come back to the cookout.
Oh man, Stacey Dash, hey man, she wants forgiveness. Look, this happened a few months ago, right?
She did ask for forgiveness.
She was, saying, like, trying to say that she was like a puppet or something like that for the right, you know what I'm saying?
No, look, she knew what she was talking about. Look, so there's a couple people that came. Stacey Dash, she's been riding that line and was not, was no longer getting invitations to the cookout a long time ago.
Yeah.
Another one that absolutely better not ask, and I don't think she is Candace Owen.
Oh yeah, Candace Owens. Candace Owens will never.
Yeah, she
I don't think Candace Owens will even.
There's definitely a couple. You know what? Okay, so since we're going down that trail, I've heard this come up in conversation, and I don't know. I'm on the fence, but he has a new album coming out, and that's Kanye West.
Oh yeah, well Kanye West.
So was he ever uninvited?
No, I don't think so. I think people just kind of like. I think with Kanye West, it was always just like, that's Kanye. But I do think that he caught a lot of flack for the slavery was a choice comment, and he caught a lot of flack for his MAGA hat. And I think that in response to that, so he can kind of like skirt it, like this just. I love Kanye West, by the way. Kanye West is one of my favorite artists of all time.
I've done a couple videos on him.
I still listen to the album. I still love the album.
He's top 10 cat for sure.
Listen, man, I definitely think that he leaned in. He's always been in touch with the word. He's always been a rapper that, he's never been shy about his faith. And I think he leaned in really, really, really heavily because you can't deny him. You can't deny somebody that's trying to say only God can judge me. Hey, you know who else is playing this video in the background? Tory Lanez, man. Tory Lanez.
And so on the Good to the Hood Facebook, when he came out with that Daystar album, right, which was right after the whole allegations, because there was no convictions, right?
There's no convictions.
Allegations of him shooting Meg in the foot, right? And on that album, he made some good points, man. Like he was talking about Bun B and a whole lot of other rappers that were just like saying he needs to be canceled, like he needs to be destroyed and whatever. But then Tory said, like, if I shot you in the foot, you ain't got no broken bones or tendons or nothing. I mean, the foot's pretty compact. Look, I don't know. I like the Daystar album. I thought the Daystar album was pretty cool. A lot of people did cancel Tory. There's quite a few that didn't.
Tory, and I didn't listen to the Daystar album, but I heard that there were moments in that album where he leaned in really spiritually as well.
He did. In the sense, he was saying, what's God's purpose? And this is, they're testing me, they're persecuting me. I mean, look, he was even saying that he wanted to get back with Meg, that he missed his friend, so on and so forth. Like, so he exposed himself pretty good. On that album. Now, of course, there's always, playing devil's advocate. Did he say that and do all that as damage control? I don't know. He came out with an album with 14 tracks, like within like a week or two of the whole thing. So, I mean,
he dropped that music video that we just had playing a few weeks ago, and he
Scat.
Scat.
Okay.
He had the baby on it, and the baby is a constant collaborator with Meg Thee Stallion. Constant collaborating. And there was a whole little rift between that, because, people do try to cancel you. And I think that sometimes as an artist, you have the power to just say, nah, that's not happening. Because you know what? I didn't listen to the Daystar album, nothing against Tory Lanez and nothing even because, you're innocent until proven guilty, right? But I just didn't listen to it for my own, personal things. But I did listen to Scat. And I did hear it, and I was like, man, this brother's coming out pretty. Okay. It's.
Hey, shout out to Meg. I just read this morning that she's actually going to be the first female rapper debuting in a Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue magazine.
Amazing.
Yeah. So shout out to her for that.
So nothing stops her grind.
Yeah.
And apparently, with artists that are trying to come back to the cookout, that Tory Lanez, nothing's going to stop his grind either because he still was making music.
His bounce back game must be great because he did tracks with Tekashi 6ix9ine
look at
too.
his hairline, man. Tory Lanez bounce back game is crazy because I saw the hairline in the scat music video and it's wild.
That's hilarious.
Bounce back, man.
So he wants to come back to the Cookout.
He does.
It's debatable if Kanye was ever.
I don't think Kanye was ever
completely off.
I think
Kanye, he got a new album coming out too, and they say Kanye. They say it's supposed to be ferocious.
They said they're gonna. They said it's gonna make us forgive everything that Kanye's done. Which I mean, but Kanye West does that though. That's what Kanye West does. Kanye West he's
on my top 10.
Yeah, I mean he was in trouble with remember the whole Taylor Swift thing, and he dropped that My Beautiful Dark Twisted.
I wasn't too pleased with the brother when he came out with his political party called the Birthday Party. I actually did a video on that.
Oh, you did?
The Birthday Party.
I didn't mind it, man.
Come on, man.
Hey, Kanye West, man. Do your thing.
I thought that was a diversion for the Orange Man. But anyway, that notwithstanding. Okay, so you know who else might be trying to, or can he come to Cookout? Is Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby got released.
Well, that's a tough one.
All right. Look,
I don't know, man.
I know a lot of people in the community. Look, I see both arguments. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bill did so much for the community back in the day. Now, this doesn't absolve him of whatever. But I mean, look, Bill was the first one to put the imagery on TV of blacks being not the stereotypical nonsense, like the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
He was a doctor.
Yeah.
Wife was a lawyer. Kids going to a good school. Right.
Great school growing
The spinoff from that was a different world.
Kids,
and
black kids in college.
Yeah. And also there was another one. There was another one that kind of spun off of that too, with Bill Cosby's show. But either way, I'm just saying, like, and Bill did some other things. Dave Chappelle even talks about it.
Yeah.
Saying that supposedly, now look, I don't know, but I heard this from Dave Chappelle. I have no reason to doubt Dave.
Yeah.
But he says that the PA system that was used when Dr. King was giving his I Have a Dream speech was donated by Bill Cosby.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Right? So I'm just saying, look, and Bill got released, so we are in a nation of laws, right? You know, right or wrong. So they released the brother, so... And he old as hell. Like, you know,
it's wild.
Mr. Polka Dot Door and Jello Pudding Pop Man he's old. You know what I mean?
Wild. He was released, and you know, first thing that I paid attention to was the fact that, like, once he was released, there were just a myriad of jokes. You know what I'm saying? A myriad of jokes, and they weren't necessarily, like, obviously they weren't jokes towards the victims or whatever, but they were just jokes about, oh shit, Bill Cosby back. You know? Yeah. So I think that, like, you know, at least symbolically, because of the jokes that were being told by a multitude of different artists and stuff, that was like them saying, "Oh, Bill Cosby back." You know what I'm saying? Was there outrage? Absolutely, definitely. But you know what's crazy is, like, that outrage was silenced out by the jokes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least in my Twitter, on my timeline, in my feed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about everybody else because I'm sure everybody else.
We're not the litmus for.
Yeah, but I saw
for broad and wide
a lot of jokes. There was a lot of, and think about an actual cookout, you know, and think about, like, how I've been to a lot of cookouts, okay, and if, you know what I'm saying, somebody was wilding and did something crazy back in the day, and he come to the cookout thinking he can come. People, they make jokes about it, they roast him for a minute, but then he can make his plate and they eat and they happy to see him again. So
you know who was way back before it was canceled and was able to come back was Michael Vick. When he did all that with the Duggars, he was ostracized for quite a while. Did his time, did whatever he had to do, came back. He got involved in a lot of animal rights organizations and donated some money. You know, had another little short stint to finish off his career in the NFL. So, you know, Michael Vick was allowed to come back. I don't know. Let me see. Who else has been kicked out?
Think about it too with Michael Vick. Within our culture, he wasn't really kicked out. Within our culture, he wasn't.
Okay, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
It was messed up with these dogs.
I mean, hey, that was.
I got a pit bull now. I mean, I should.
Yeah, that was foul.
Yeah.
That was super foul. But, you know, within our culture,
that's fair. Especially during that time frame. Okay, so that's fair. Okay, okay, that's fair. Okay, so who else is? There's always some internal bickering, but maybe not necessarily kicked out of the. I mean, like we said when we started this video off, like Stacey Dash King and so on, those type of people. Oh, you know who? but he's kind of irrelevant. He's in the same vein as them as Judge Joe Brown.
Judge Joe Brown, what do you do?
Man, have you seen him on Twitter?
No.
Man, this guy, he's not canceled, but in some regards, some people look. Judge Joe Brown.
Judge Joe Brown
supported Donald Trump like heavy.
Judge Joe Brown? That's crazy.
Yeah. So go check it. If you have Twitter, go on Black Twitter and go follow Judge Joe and just go through some of his tweets and his talks on there. It's crazy. Joe's insane. I've actually had a little bit of interaction with him on Twitter.
Really?
Nothing major. Not no big old argument or whatever. Maybe I'll take those screenshots and put those up.
Yeah, that's why I rock with Judge Mathis. Shout out to Judge Mathis.
Yeah, Judge Mathis is cool. And who's this? Hatchet?
Judge Hatchet.
She's cool.
I never heard of Judge Hatchet.
No, you haven't?
Nah, man.
No, she's cool. Who else is it? Okay, look, now we all squirreled out somewhere else. Who else has gotten canceled? Who else has gotten canceled recently? I don't think nobody.
I think, you know what? I actually think that Tory Lanez is a sign that first and foremost, like, cancel culture is waning. You know what I'm saying? That concept. Because listen, to be acute, like, you got to think about, like, when cancel culture was popping off, we're talking about not, you know, things that are like concrete, but we're talking about the same thing, accusations that are made, and this is something that's not a lot, like, even be seen at all. Doja Cat. Doja Cat. Bro. That's another artist that was like, you know, because those are the wildest things.
Well,
and you saw those, like, I saw those videos and they broke my heart or whatever. But you know,
well, sometimes cats have to. They kind of see it coming, and so they step out of the way before they become a topic. Like, one that comes to mind is T.I.
Oh yeah.
So when Iggy was kind of saying some stuff and was kind of whatever, T.I. kind of stepped back, and he's and since then he's kind of actually all together. It's kind of washed his hands of Iggy Azalea.
Oh, completely.
Yeah, T.I.'s like, nah.
Well, it was a big issue because you know, T.I. is you know, being the respectful individual that he is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At least on, you know, from what I've seen. You know, Q-Tip came out and he was doing some correcting to Iggy Azalea. And Iggy Azalea said something wild, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like to Q-Tip. And T.I., respectfully, everybody call him Tip, but he goes by T.I. out of respect to Q-Tip, and then he had to kind of check Iggy Azalea. And then Iggy Azalea was like, oh, kind of playing the victim part.
Yeah, you know, some people don't understand. Yeah, some people don't understand that whole deal. But I think also within what has happened in the past 4 years, definitely within the past year, I think the black community has kind of stepped back a little bit from that cancel culture, and we've kind of reignited unity. Yeah. You know, because in the forefront, obviously, the Black Lives Matter movement, especially when everything really kicked off with George Floyd, you know, and all the others, Breonna Taylor, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Elijah McClain. Yeah. And all that. It's really a situation of like, look, man, we can't be so petty as to start canceling out our own on some real trivial allegations or rumors or you know on certain things. And so I think that's kind of maybe changed it to why recently there hasn't been a whole lot of it. But before, because me and Kels did a cancel culture video, and we really talked about a lot of this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But I mean, yeah, within the culture itself, I haven't really heard of anybody that's really been kicked out. Tory Lanez is absolutely a good one. I think Bill Cosby, maybe. I mean,
I think ultimately when it comes down to this stuff, I think a lot of it stems from an idea of seeing if there's any reformation of character. You know, I never agreed with cancel culture because I felt like you didn't give an opportunity to see if you know, characters reformed. You know.
What about R. Kelly?
R. Kelly, I don't think R. Kelly ever coming back.
Ever coming back?
I don't think so, man.
The greatest R&B male singer of all time.
I think R. Kelly done, man. I think Kels is done. I think if Kels tries again, they go. Hey, for every album Kels try to drop, they're gonna drop a documentary on you. Like man, I think that's what's gonna happen.
R. Kelly's was pretty heavy.
Yeah, R. Kelly's is rough, bro. Because you're talking about honestly, kind of one of the reasons why cancel culture is kind of allowed to exist in that, because, you know, he was on trial and released music all during the trial, and it was a huge distraction thing. Yeah. You know, I mean,
we're in a society now where we're hypersensitive, and I use that loosely, because look, me and Kelsey talked about back in the day, Michael Jackson was never canceled. per se, and Michael Jackson was out there like everybody knew.
There were crazy accusations.
You know what I'm saying?
But
So
once again, it gets down to accusations, and then it gets down to the defenses because you're talking about a guy that was on trial really twice. I mean, he settled out on a couple of those things, but like for some, the crazy thing about it is that with Michael Jackson, there was always like a louder opposing voice that's like, well, hold up, I don't like this. With R. Kelly, you don't see that, man. With R. Kelly, it was just like everybody knew, and everybody was just kind of like letting it rock because he was making great music.
How do you feel about Oprah?
Oprah? Ooh.
Oprah, to me, everybody that I talk to and things that I see, Oprah's like, obviously she's a part of the culture. She was very influential to various things throughout black culture, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she was the catalyst for Obama to get in office. I mean,
A major catalyst.
I mean, straight up. I mean, she had all those white women say, "Hey, vote for the brother," and that's what happened.
Yeah.
But Oprah's also been, we'll say, accused of being extremely not attached or what do they say, that disjointed from the culture, from the community. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like Oprah be saying some stuff, and it's like, and Bill Cosby was just as guilty.
Yeah.
Because I remember Bill Cosby used to really go in on the black community on some stuff. I'm like, and maybe I'm a little old school. I'm really one of those people that's like, man, don't put our dirty laundry out there like that. Like, not so heavy.
We can have, let's handle ourselves within
But
ourselves.
Oprah, I don't know if Oprah ever got kicked out, but I think there was a time where, for sure, where Oprah was, she's kind of like the aunt you never invited to the cookout.
Yeah.
But she didn't say anything disparaging about her. She was like, she don't have nothing in common with us. There's no likability.
Man, she traveled the world and she done came back and now she puts I don't know, some weird spice in the potato salad that shouldn't be there because she's trying to get everybody to like it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you one of the problems I had with Oprah.
You can't be eating this anybody potato salad.
Oprah went really wild. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember who it was, but you would see all these pictures of her cozying up with Harvey Weinstein. And we already know what Harvey Weinstein's about. We know Harvey Weinstein is pretty much next to R. Kelly, the reason why Me Too exists. The reason why, you know what I'm saying, all that entire thing exists. You never saw Oprah rail against Harvey Weinstein. But you see her rail against, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah.
Shit, Kobe, you know what I'm saying? Gayle King, too. Because Gayle King went real hard against.
Yeah, I had a little video on that too.
Those interviews, and the R. Kelly interview, which I'm pretty sure R. Kelly had a huge hand in setting up. I mean, that was wild, but there are pictures of them both being real cozy with Harvey Weinstein. You don't never hear them say anything against Harvey.
That's true. That's true. Well, that's a whole nother thing too. We'll do that on a whole nother show. Yeah. Is the black community, how we interact with one another, how we treat one another. Because you know what I've seen? Yeah, we'll have to do another show, maybe get a panel, because I've really been seeing a lot on social media, seemingly the war between black men and black women.
Oh, man.
Man, that's on a level that's really whoa, that's kind of crazy that I just haven't seen before in the past. So, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, please.
We'll get into that on another one. But look, let us know in the comments if any of these people should come back to the cookout, right? My vote, I'd like R. Kelly to come back to the cookout. But that's just me. I'm not saying nothing or discrediting or whatever. But let's talk about that a little later. Kanye, was he ever in or out of the cookout? I've always liked Kanye.
Kanye was always been there.
I mean, we might have to put him on the hill with Oprah there, where it's like you're not canceled, but until you maybe after. But I got to see what his album comes out with. Who else did we say? We said Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez was a big one. Stacey Dash, because she's wanting to come back. I'm gonna tell you right now, Stacey, you ain't got my vote. Now I get it. Maybe my vote's only half a vote, but you ain't getting the half a vote.
Stacey Dash, man. Hey, we still let us know.
She was in the Kanye video too, actually.
She was. Yeah, ironically, how about that? That's crazy.
Oh, I don't know, Kanye. Yeah. You out here rolling with. Look, so anyway, we're gonna get to that a little later. But and Candace Owens never come back to that.
Yeah, Candace.
I'll take Bill Cosby and R. Kelly before I take Candace. Yeah, I said it. Share this with your friends. Until next time, this is Mr. Kelly with Good to the Hood. My boy Avery J. Peace.